All right, so here in this problem, we have a arch, and we're actually given the equation of the arch right there. And so this equation describes the arch, and we're measuring everything in meters. And the first question we're asked is to determine the axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is just going to be a line that cuts the arch down in half like that. There's a formula you can use, or you can figure out where it touches the x-axis and go halfway in between those values right there. So I like to approach it that second way, and I notice that I can factor this actually to be just x times negative 1.6x plus 4.48. And so I know that my graph is going to hit the x-axis when x equals 0, and when all this junk over here equals 0. And that's something we know how to solve. You just get your number on the left, on the other side of your letter, and you just divide. So it turns out that x is whatever negative 4.48 divided by 1.6 is. So I get 2.8. So now I know that here, this one is x equals 0. I mean, I kind of knew that from the picture, but it works out algebraically too. And that x is 2.8. That means the axis symmetry has to be right in between 1.4. If you're somebody who likes these formulas, you can just remember that the axis of symmetry is always x equals negative b over 2a. Just like when you're doing the quadratic formula, the a, b, and c go in order. So b is the second number in standard form. It's the coefficient of x. And a is the first number. And so I do that. And if you type that in, 4.48 divided by 2 times negative 1.6, and if I type that in, 1.4, just like I showed. Now the next question is something it's a great question just for seeing if you understand how to do this here. To prepare for the event, a square-based crate is 1.6 meters wide and 2 meters high, and we want to move it through. So it must remain upright. So we're going to determine if the crate's going to fit through the archway. So there's a couple different ways to do it. One way that I thought was a good way to do it is to graph the equation y equals 2 and see where that equation intersects with the archway. So if I think about y equals 2, I don't know exactly how high it is, but I know it's going to do something like this. And if I can find these 2 points right there, then I can determine whether the arch will fit. So I'm going to use my calculator to graph both the archway. There's a way to do this by hand as well, but I'm going to show you the graphical way. So I typed both the equations in to my y equals. I press graph, and I see this beautiful parabola and line intersection, and I want to find those intersections. So that's in the calculate menu. I hit blue button, calculate, and I want to intersect, which is option 5. Press enter until it tells me the intersection, and this one right here tells me that x equals 0.557. This one over here, I have to ask it to calculate that separately. So I just move my blinky thing over until it's on the right side, and I get x equals 2.243. Well, whether the crate will fit or not depends on how far apart those are. So now that I have my two x values, I subtract them, and that gives me a distance of 1.686. Because the archway at a height of 2 is further than that apart, then I know that I can fit through the archway. So because this is greater than 1.6, the crate will fit. There you go. The way you could have done that algebraically is you could have plugged in y equals 2 right here and solved for x, possibly by using the quadratic formula, and then you would get those same x values and see if they fit. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.